probably get started. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Simple Fund 360 Discover webinar. My name is Carlos, and I'm one of the business development managers here at BGL, and I'll be taking you through our SMSF compliance and administration software. Just a bit of housekeeping. This webinar is being recorded. All attendees will receive an email with a link to the recording. And for any questions, please use the Q&A. One of my colleagues will answer your question. Simple Fund began as a desktop solution and BGL moved to the cloud, known as Simple Fund 360, and was released in 2014, so just over 10 years ago. Benefits released into the cloud is providing our users with frequent updates and easier access to the software. We have implemented automation throughout the years with our OCR feature, Smart Docs 360, which has increased efficiency and also saved time for our clients, inputting data directly from PDFs into Simple Fund 360. Simple Fund 360 also has a wide range of ecosystem partners with access to bank data feeds through the BGL Bank Data Service and recently with the Open Banking Service. We support over 100 brokers and a connection with the shared registries and partner with 10 actuarial providers. Most recently, we are implementing more automation with our documents and workpapers features and also developing our own AI within the platform to provide further efficiencies. Why invest in SMSF software? Investing in Simple Fund 360 will empower your business to go beyond data entry and become more competitive in the industry. Simple Fund 360 provides a wide range of benefits with our accuracy and error reduction features, time efficiencies, compliance and audit readiness, scalability and multi-user access, so you can invite as many people as you like into the software. We have integrations, like I mentioned, and automation, security and data protections. BGL's softwares are all ISO 27001 certified. And lastly, with professional reporting and forecasting in the system. Simple Fund 360 has inbuilt digital accounting workpapers, providing traceability, transparency, consistency, integrations with other audit platforms as well, and also effective communication with the auditor. Recently, you may have seen we've partnered with Xero and we'll be releasing workpapers within that platform for a wide range of entities. But in this demonstration, I'll be showing you Simple Fund 360's workpapers for self-managed super funds. As previously mentioned, BGL has a wide range of ecosystem partners with banks, brokers, digital signing platforms, legal document providers, actuarial providers, and many more, as you can see on this slide. Just before I move into the demonstration, I will be just putting through a poll. I'm just launching that now. Yeah, if you can just provide some answers to this, as it does give me a good insights of what you guys are using at the moment. So if it's Simple Fund or another SMSF platform, or maybe it's a manual version of Excel or combination of other softwares. Your biggest challenge when managing SMSF compliance as well. So whether that be manual data or if you maybe gathering documents from clients. And then our third one here is, what is most important when choosing a self-managed super fund compliance platform, whether that be integrations, maybe if you want to speed up some time with automation and support. And how many SMSFs does your firm currently manage, just so I can understand maybe how frequent you might be using self-managed super fund platform. And lastly as well, which features would you like to add most value to your processes? So whether that be automation with bank feeds, AI analysis and extracting documentation, and also work papers that like I mentioned, we have inbuilt into the software. So I'll leave this poll for maybe another minute or two, just so everyone can get their answers in. I'll just leave the poll for a few more moments, and then I'll kickstart the demonstration. Thank you everyone to enter the poll. So what you're currently looking at the moment is Simple Fund 360's inside dashboard screen. This is basically our home screen. You're going to be able to view all of your funds within Simple Fund 360. On this screen, we have this insights here known as our analytical insights. So I'm also able to collapse the panel to expand this further. So this is just a great way to filter through your funds within the system. So for example, if you just wanted to see the ones that are under a certain name or any type of label that you have here, you're more than welcome to use that. So whether that be order in progress, you can see all the funds here that may have an order in progress label attached to it. We also have other pieces of information, so which funds are in particular financial years, lodgement statuses. You are able to lodge the SMSF return within Simple Fund 360, and I will touch on that in this demonstration as well. We also have the concessional contribution and non-concessional contribution caps filtered through, so you can see which ones may be at the limit or maybe creeping close to that limit as well. And we have other ones here as well, such as unmatched transaction entities, which are a great way to see maybe, entities that might have a lot of transactions coming through, maybe a great way to start that off the process if you need to. If I click into a fund, it will automatically take me to the fund dashboard screen. So this is just a great snapshot of an SMSF. You can see here there might be some untransactions here, corporate actions to review. Every little piece of information here has its own screen. So if you need to go into the work papers itself, you don't have to go into the fund dashboard screen to get there. We do have the menu here on the left-hand side where you'll be able to find any screen that you require. Also has here the investment dashboard to see some of the investments the fund has at the moment, and also the members as well to have a quick snapshot of their balances and maybe potentially contribution caps if they're close to that limit as well. Now I'll click onto here, which will take us to our data feed. So Simple Fund 360 has data feeds with banks, brokers, like I mentioned earlier. And this is where you'll be able to kind of track how they're, if they're operating and also set them up initially as well. So really straightforward, simply press onto the setup and it will take you to this feed here for you to enter in the bank details there. And then, like I mentioned, we have the BGL Bank Data Service and Open Banking as well. So Open Banking does provide more access to over 100 banks. So great way to get your clients' bank transactions flowing through to the system automated. Once you also have a click onto a bank, it'll also have a set of instructions as well for you. So no need to kind of guess how to do it. There'll be instructions for you. And we also have with the shared data, the contract notes as well. So if you can set up your client's broker accounts, whether that be have access to over 100 brokers as well. So you're able to simply press on to whatever the broker may be, and then there'll also be a set of instructions as well on how to initiate that contract note service. And alongside the shared data, we also have the registry data. So if you want to compare the holdings quarterly with the registry, it's a great way to have a look to make sure all your data in Simple Fund and the registries are matching up together. And finally, we also have the wraps and platforms where you'll be able to set that up as well if any of your clients are utilizing a wrap feed. Great way to get their data into the system automatically as well. Within the platform, we do have our own ESA. So under our SuperStream dashboard, you're able to set up the ESA for any funds in Simple Fund 360 at no cost. Simply you have to register to press onto there. Our ESA is called BGL SF360. So when you go onto your tax agent portal, just remember that to make your life easier to register under the ATO's eyes, and simply press onto here for the SMSF trustee and validate, and then you'll be able to get contributions, rollover, and release authorities all within the SuperStream service of Simple Fund 360. I'll now move over to our accounting tab. So the accounting tab is where the majority of the processing will be completed. Under the smart matching is where all of the data feeds will flow through. So if the bank feed maybe has a few transactions over a week, all the transactions will appear here for you to match off to the correct account. Now, if you're not utilizing bank feeds, we do have Like I mentioned, our Smart Docs feature, which can read PDF bank statements. I'll just remove this one here. Really straightforward, just go into the bank statement there, simply press on to open and then confirm. What it'll then do is it will analyze the PDF bank statement I've entered into the system. So we'll just give it a few moments. Yep, so as you can see here, it's put the bank side on the left-hand side. So if I click onto here, for example, it will highlight it on the PDF bank statements. You're able to view kind of both sides, what will be entered into Simple Fund and also the bank statement itself. Simply press onto create and then it will populate all of the bank transactions from that PDF bank statement. So what you're currently looking at the moment is obviously the bank side, but it has a predicted charter rule. So we utilize AI we've had in the system for quite some time to pick up that transaction and predict it to go to the account. So over time, it will get more confident. As you can see here, it's green, meaning the system's quite confident that it is, related to that particular account. And rather than matching one by one, you are able to simply multiple match, and then it'll match all transactions that have the correct information. Now, there may be some here, for example, that's just missing some information. So if this particular share, it doesn't have the amount of units, if you know the amount of units, you can just type it in, or you can kind of leave it down till your client confirms it with you. But it's simple as, just typing that in and then matching that transaction off. So, yeah, the bank statements unfortunately don't have all the information in the world, but if you have it available outside of that, of course, you can just match it straight away. Now, you are also able to import CSV bank statements if you prefer, but the PDF option is probably more efficient on your end. Now, we also have matching rules here as well. So this is a great way to, again, automate your transactions. So I've got one here known as rental income. So if anything comes through the bank account known as rent, we'll automatically allocate it to the property income account. So this is great for frequent transactions that your clients may have interest and rent coming through monthly. Rather than matching them off yourself, you can create a matching rule to kind of speed things up on your end. Now, Simple Fund 360 does also have a general set of chart of accounts. So we have, quite a long range of accounts there. If you need to make a custom account, I've made one here myself called a Carlos expense account, but you're also able to add them here as well. If there's something maybe quite niche that is relevant to a property we may not have, or you like to make your own account just for your records. Now, if I go into the transaction list, this is where you'll be able to view all of your transactions throughout a particular financial year. We have a search function here as well. So you are able to, for example, just search up all interest transactions and have a look at every single one here. Now we have these filters here. So auto matched is if you've maybe used the matching rule, or if you have a bank feed and a contract note service together, it will automatically pick up the bank statement and contract note and it will automatically match for you. We also have manually match, so that is something I just did with either the CSV or the PDF bank statements, and unmatched as well. So this may be a client's purchased some shares, but you don't have the contract note yet, so you can't confirm the amount of units. So not necessarily a bad thing, and also maybe a transaction that's flowing through into the software that you haven't yet processed. So nothing to be worried about. Might be just waiting on further information. So once a client gets that too, obviously you can go in and customize that there. So by simply pressing into it and changing the account to the appropriate one that needs to go to. Now you still are able to do general journals. So still give that flexibility here. So you are able to simply press onto here and do a general journal. So I can do a share transaction, for example. So I can just search up the bank account there. And then also I can search up the share. So if it was just purchase some CommBank shares, simply press onto the share, and then I can just do a simple purchase there and simply click onto post there. So if you've wanted to do a general journal, still give you that flexibility. Obviously, the other ways are much more efficient, but we do have that there for you. Now, within the platform, we also have investment dashboards as well. So like I mentioned with the balance review, this is comparing with the registry here. So don't have any data, but this is where we would compare with the share registry and Simple Fund 360 to see if there's any variances, and you can maybe investigate if there are any variances and why that might be. Maybe you just haven't entered in a process the share in Simple Fund. That's why there's a small difference. Under our investment dashboards, this is where you'll be able to have a look at the investments, just a quick snapshot on the screen if you don't want to generate a report. We have diets and time-weighted performance as defaults, but we also have the ability for you to enter in an investment strategy as well. So you're able to enter in the investment strategy. If you have it, you can just type it in here, or if you like, we do have an integration with Smarter SMSF, so you are able to order one through them if your client does request that. Now, under the investment security list, it will show you all of the investments that are held within the SMSF. And we also have markets here that we do support. So we do daily pricing for these markets at the close of business. So if you are, for CGT purposes, there will be the correct share amount on that particular date. So you don't have to search it up yourself. We do have it for these supported markets here as well. We also have for cryptocurrencies. So with your Bitcoin and those sort of major coins, if we have the market data with NBOK, it would have a reevaluation for you every single day. Now, for properties, if you do have an account with either the following property providers, you are able to connect your account with them and get the property valuations through them from maybe Acumentus, CBRE, all these ones here as well. So if you do have that, it's a great way to kind of plug it in and get your data in fast into the system. If your client's giving you the valuations themselves, I will show you how you can upload documents into the system for the valuations. And also, if it is something that is manual, you are able to add in a custom price, whether that be property or any other items that are considered unlisted investments. Now, within our property dashboard screen, this is where you can upload that document into the system. So if I click onto here, click onto add, I'm able to add a valuation as of 30 June and also add a source document into the system as well. So if it's already in Simple Fund, you can just search it up, or you're able to drag and drop or search in there to add that valuation source document there. We also have this at a global view as well. So if you have a few clients that have given you the valuations, rather than going to each fund individually, we have recently updated this property dashboard screen. So you're able to search properties and add the valuation within the platform. Or if you have it with that, the integrations, it will do it for you in a much more efficient way. Now, lastly, we do have corporate actions within Simple Fund 360. So anything that has been announced will flow through into the particular funds that have that particular share in there. So if, let's say, a fund doesn't have a CBA, it won't, any announcements for the CBA ones will not be there. The process is really straightforward. Simply press onto process. We'll have all the information there for you. So if it's a distribution or your client reinvesting, you're able to flick through and pop in the information there. So we've got the DRP, price per share. Simply press onto process corporate action, and then it will create that journal for you automatically once I press onto that button. Now, if I move over into our compliance tab, this is where we have our distribution tax automation. So you're able to process those annual tax statements in a much more efficient way. Now, if there is a lightning bolt here, it means we've entered in the tax statement information into the system. So you may not need to type it in yourself, or there is a smart doc option as well. So like I showed you with the bank statement, you're also able to upload annual tax statements within the system as well. So if I click onto here, maybe it's just the internet today, but I've uploaded one in the past as well. So what I'm able to do is simply press onto there and extract from PDF. Now, similar to the bank statement, it will show you the annual tax statement on the left-hand side, but our Smart Docs feature will grab all that data and populate it into the right-hand side here for you. So rather than you typing all this information in manually yourself, our PDF reader will do it for you. And you can also generate a markers reviewed as well. So once I click onto that, it will generate the transaction for you under the transaction list. So once you've it's populated those fields, simply press onto there and it'll create a journal for you automatically based on the information presented from the annual tax statement. And if it is something with just a lightning bolt, so we've entered into the system, obviously there won't be a PDF for you to review, but it will have all the information that has been produced based on the holdings of based on the holdings the fund has. Now within the system, if you're ready to go and you've processed all of the information, you are simply able to click onto create entries. So what create entries is, basically calculates the profit and income tax for a particular period to the members as well. And it will also populate the tax return there. So now for the smaller funds like myself, one here, it's a little bit faster, but for the larger funds may take a few more moments. But like I've alluded to before, it does automatically populate the tax compliance screen, which is our tax return screen. So you are able to go into all the sections will be pre-filled. So if we go into income, we'll have all the income that this fund has received in the particular year. So all that information in there with all the the applicable sections. Now, if you have your tax agent details in the system, simply press on to validate, and then you'll go through the process to lodge via Simple Fund 360. We also have a zero export, so you're able to export this out and import it into zero as well. So if you anyone is utilizing zero tax for the tax returns, you are able to get that out of Simple Fund 360 and lodge it through zero. Or if you like, you can print out the tax return from the system as well. That is an option, but my recommendation to everyone is always to lodge through the system as it's much more efficient. Now, what it will also do is it will populate the reports as well. So in our Simple Fund 360, this is our report screen where you'll be able to search up over hundreds of reports we have within the platform. I've created a pack here. So this is what just some general accounts here. So if I click onto preview, what it'll do is it will preview all of those financial reports that I have selected. So we've got a statement of financial position here, which compares, the last 2 years in this. So in the system, so we've got 2020 and 2021 as the current financial year. So you're able to have a look at that. We've also got an operating statement as well. So you're able to have a look at the income and expenses that have come out through a particular financial year. Again, with a comparison between last year, so your client can see how things may have changed. Also, we've got a member statement within the platform as well. So it's got here, it's got the account summaries. You're able to have a look at this particular year, this member, and also we've got it for all members here as well. And lastly, we have the investment summary report for you as well. So you're able to have a look here at all the investments that the fund has. This one's quite small, but it'll have all the investments at the market values as of 30 June for listed, and then anything unlisted, like I mentioned, will need to be put into the system for like properties as an example. Now you're also able to have a look at a trial balance. So I'll click onto that as well for you. We also have the notes to the financial statements as well. So this is something that we all generated within the system just via a simple press of a button. So nothing too extensive. So the trial balance here, just quite basic for this fund. And we also have the notes to the financial statements as well, which will have all of the particular and relevant notes for your self-managed super funds. Now, if there's any forms that can be digitally signed as well, we do have integrations with digital signing providers. So if you're utilizing FuseSign, DocuSign, Adobe Sign, or Please Sign, you can get a member statement signed, for example, via the digital signing platform, if required as well. So it's a great way to get your member statement signed digitally without taking it out of the platform. Now within Simple Fund, we also have smart reports. So this is where you'd be able to have a look at the reports and also get an AI analysis. So we've recently implemented something known as our AI assistant we call Ronnie. So this is our financial analysis assistant where you'll be able to ask certain questions and also view it in the top right-hand corner here as well. So you're able to have a look here of all of our bots. So I've got one here, ATO, which is any ATO related questions, the BGL assistant, global investment, financial, global analytics. And recently with the Division 296 regulation, we've also built in the AI bot, so you're able to get some information based on 296. But if I wanted to just analyze the current financial year, like I've done in the past, it will show you the financial position and give you some information based on that and provide an AI analysis. So this is our own version of ChatGPT we've built in-house. So it's the BGL's version that we've helped our clients get some information in an AI format to speed things up, whether that be an analysis or a simple question for an ATO related matter. Now, within the system, we do have our own inbuilt accounting work papers. So this is what our work papers do look like. So once you've generated them here, it will populate it as you can see here. Now, this is integrated with our document screen as well. So anything you've uploaded in the past into Simple Fund 360 will be in the platform for you. So if I click onto maybe another one, if I wanted to search up this one here, if I had the information in the system, say this one as an example, you can attach it straight away to that particular account. So it's got the source documentation there for you. And also, if you don't have it yet in the system, you can simply drag and drop it and it will populate into Simple Fund 360 for you. And once you've done, all you've got to do is simply press on to the status. So if I go into maybe this one for an example, you can change the status to maybe in progress, ready for review, completed, depending on the situation, of course, that you have internally. Now, you are able to invite your auditor into the system as a user, so there's no extra cost for inviting users into the system, whether that be in your firm or outside the firm, but you simply press on to here to notify maybe the reviewer. You can mention to the preparer that there's rework required, or the reviewer. So if the preparer can just maybe, and it sends out to the reviewer's email saying that this entity is ready for review, or you can notify the employer as well, the auditor as well. Now, you can also export these work papers out of the system. So you can export the entirety of the work papers, maybe the notes, schedules, or documents, depending on your needs there. You can take the information out of the system. But if you do have a relationship with the auditor, I'd probably recommend inviting them in, as it saves you time of exporting documentation, and the auditor can just come into the software whenever they need to have a look at the work papers. Now, within the document screen, this is where, like I mentioned, the entity folders here are directly linked with the work papers module. So no need to kind of put it in one particular dump. You can just kind of schedule them out in particular folders as well to make your life easier. So if you wanted to see the dividend received, I think you can see all the information and source documents there to kind of filter down. Or we also have a search function as well. So if you do need a search, you can just search up the document name in the top left-hand corner here as well. Now, within Simple Fund 360, we also have a workflows module as well. So if you have, quite a lot of, funds on the system and users and you want to divvy the work out, this is a great way to do it within Simple Fund and in the same platform. To create a job is really straightforward. Simply press on to create job. It's search your entity. So if I want to just, put it for myself, if there is a template you've had in the past, so let's just say I've had this annual processing one here as well, and you simply, once the job's done, just get out of that module and dismiss and refresh it, and then it will appear here as well. So this is something I've just popped in here, and then you're able to have a look and choose the assignee. So I've already had this in the past. You can assign myself. You can put tasks here as well. So if you wanted to maybe add tasks, you can maybe put work papers. And then if it's maybe a different assignee, you can leave a description here as well. So maybe so you can maybe put due dates as well in the description, just so whoever is reviewing it can see, yep, I've got to do the work papers by that particular date. And you are also able to click tasks for me. So you're able to look at, see which ones are maybe outstanding. And then also you can narrow it down for the user. So the user can maybe log on one week and say, yep, this is the workload I have for the particular week. And then they can go into here and click maybe in progress or ready for review. And then if there's any managers in here, you can maybe review your workers' jobs, and then you can see if they've completed the jobs to your standard. And you can also let them know, maybe for example, if you're waiting on clients, so that's why this particular job hasn't been completed. Within this, sorry, on the Simple Fund 360, we also have a member screen here as well. So this will be updated very shortly. Our product team's releasing a new UI, but you're also able to make new accumulation and pension accounts as well. So we do give you all those pension commencement letters within the platform. So just to show you what sort of pension documents we have here pension commencement minutes, letters, things of that nature for you as well. So we've got a whole wide range of reporting for all of your SMSF needs. And if I go under just fund fund pension policies. You also, like I mentioned, with actuarial providers, you can request one within Simple Fund 360. And these are the 10 providers that we do integrate with. So if you have an existing relationship with one of those, all you've got to do is just simply kind of link your account with that. You'll say any of these providers to Simple Fund, and you can get all the information flowing through into Simple Fund 360 automatically rather than doing everything manually. So it's a great way to automate your workflows. Now within Simplify, we do have support. So if you're not already a client with us, we do have our live chat. So this is just for all your more smaller queries to get maybe a help article or just a quick help on any matters you might have in Simplify 360. Also have a log of support call option so you can request to speak to our support team either via phone call or email, depending on your preference. And we also have help articles here as well. So if I click onto here, the Knowledge Center, this is where you'll be able to search up help articles. So for example, if I just wanted to know how to search up a bank account and how to add one in the system, we have help articles similar to this to help you kind of fix your problem, or if there's a feature you haven't seen before and you just want to learn about it, this is a great way to have a look at it. We also have here our learning channel as well. So you're able to watch videos and things of that nature as well on the basics of Simple Fund 360. And this is accessible for all users within the platform. And also next week, our education team is running an education week for all of our products. So it is something you can register on our website if you want to get some training for some features on Simple Fund and any other products as well, whether that be Simple Invest and CAS 360 as well. Here's just some client feedback that we've had of some users as well. So this one over here, started off on our desktop product and moving to Simple Fund 360 has increased their efficiency. So this is kind of a long client of ours. Some of you may know we had a desktop solution, and also mentioning the document reading and the population end of year tax. So like I showed, once you've pressed onto that, the tax return will populate for you just in a couple of minutes or even less if the fund's smaller. This one here as well, the online software. So these clients utilize our features, our bank features, and also share data as well, which will populate all the information in the system. And also here as well. So the purpose of Simplify is to save time with automations and get all of the compliance and job done for the SMSFs. This is another one here. So Diana from Bedford, like most of our clients, they try to automate as much as they can, which has saved time on processing and also has given them more time to work on other things in the business, whether that be providing more analysis for the clients or providing extra value outside of SMSF work, rather than doing processing for hours on end. You can utilize Simple Fund 360 to build the relationships like Diana has done here. Now, how you can get started. So once you've made a purchase of Simple Fund 360, our client success team will work with you to get your funds on board to Simple Fund by converting your data via opening balances based on financial reports, and also maybe potentially more data as well. The onboarding includes a training session with the team, and also there's other training resources like I mentioned, and conversions are free for the first 6 months from your initial purchase date as well. So we do give you that flexibility for the conversions. Now, what I'm assuming what everyone's been waiting for, what Simple Fund 360 will cost you. So the base version of Simple Fund 360 is $130 plus GST per fund per annum, which includes unlimited users and support. Now, our data feeds and $45 each, so bank and share data have a separate cost, and they have unlimited bank accounts and transactions for the bank data, unlimited contract notes, and the quarterly registry data requests through the share data service. So, like I mentioned earlier, all the transactions flow into Simple Fund 360 when the data feeds are enabled. Here are some of my contact details as well. So if you want to flick me through an email after this, feel free to flick me through and I'll be happy to chat with you all. Appreciate everyone's time today for joining the webinar. I'll keep the chat box open in the Q&A just for a little bit longer to answer those questions, but appreciate everyone's time this morning and I hope you have a great rest of your day.